Hey guys, Ray Bashir here with Blue Shield Tactical Systems. Today we're going to be talking about 10 tactical errors that we ourselves have made as law enforcement officers. Things that you've been taught in the academy not to do, but for some reason we still see it happen on the street. We want to address that today. If it's something that some comments you want to add, go ahead and comment in the comment section about things that we may not have covered in this video. So also log on to BlueShieldTactical.com. You'll see other videos like this one. Okay. So number one, we'll get right into it. Number one is not waiting for backup, guys. Make sure that you're waiting for a backup. And hey, trust me, I get it. If you're working for a rural county where backup may be 30 minutes away or even further, you may have to respond to that alarm call by yourself or some of those other ones. And I work in the Metroplex and the DFW, and luckily here in Texas, in this area, backup is just a couple of minutes away or 30 seconds away. I mean, it's really close. It's readily available. But I get it if you're working in one of those areas. It still doesn't make it tactically safe for us to do that. So let's make sure if we have that backup available to us that we're waiting, especially on domestics, guys. If you are the primary officer, don't go in there before your backup gets there. Wait for that other secondary officer to get there. That way you can go in together, and that way if you start taking that gunfire, that you're able to defend yourselves, both of you, against that suspect that may be shooting. It's harder for him to shoot two targets. It's easier for him to shoot one. So number two is watching the hands, guys. We've been talking about this forever in law enforcement. Watching the hands, being aware where they're putting the hands. You may be asking the person, I guarantee you, if you'll be on the street and you'll notice this, you should say, hey, do you have any weapons or dope on you? If they have dope in their pocket, a lot of times they're going to reach and touch that. The same thing happens with firearms. If you ask them if they have a weapon on them, they may reach and place their hand on that firearm. It's just instinctual to do so. It's no different than you leaving your home and making sure that you have your cell phone, making sure you have your wallet, make sure you have your keys, those kind of things. So they're doing the same thing psychologically. So number three, not seeing signs of a pending attack, guys. I guarantee you it's so important to read that body language. That's why we teach a class on body language. So it's so important to read that body language and understand what is about to occur. It also helps you when you're writing reports. If you're seeing that person standing there clenching their fist, or they're staring at you, psychological intimidation, those things are important. Stepping their back foot back, the right foot back, indicating that they may be trying to get into that stance where they can deliver that strike. Number four, driving too fast for conditions or driving too fast, period, guys. I too was that 21-year-old officer when I went through the academy, and I thought that that's what law enforcement was about, was driving too fast, shooting guns, and just having fun, not realizing at the time that it can get you killed. So make sure that you're driving within your policy, within your speed limit. Not only that, it looks bad to the public. If we're out there and we're passing with no lights and siren on, they see that, and it puts a bad taste in their mouth for law enforcement. Make sure you're wearing your seatbelt as well, guys. That way, if you do get involved in that collision, that you don't end up hopefully getting seriously hurt or killed. Okay. Number five, poor frisk procedures. I watch a lot of the videos that are out there with officers with poor frisk procedures, or some of the shows that are currently on about law enforcement that follow law enforcement, and you'll see that occasionally. Where I was recently watching one this year, and they had patted the person. This officer went up to the suspect and started actually patting them down from the front. Guys, that's not something we do. That's not something you were taught in the academy. So don't become complacent. Make sure you're controlling the hands. Make sure you're controlling the body when you're going into those pat-down procedures, okay? Number six, getting too close, not maintaining your distance. Guys, that is extremely important. If you're close enough that you can reach and you can touch the suspect, he can also hit you, knock you unconscious, get on top of you, take your gun. We want to make sure that we're maintaining that distance. We've been talking about that forever, but I guarantee you, I see it on a regular basis where officers will get way too close and stand next to the person or in front of them within that distance where they can reach and touch them. If you need to get their identification, guys, you can step in and get it, move back, or just write it down on your notepad. That's the easier way to do it. Number seven, being rude or elevating the incident. Guys, we all know those officers in our agency to everything's going great. They arrive on scene and they get the person elevated to where now you're in a use of force situation where you didn't have to be. That's why also the de-escalation training is so important. We do it on a regular basis, guys, believe it or not. It just gives you some tools to be able to respond out there on scene, and it really is helpful. But make sure you're being polite. Make sure you're being nice. It really goes a long ways, and we're all guilty of just having a bad day sometimes and saying things that we shouldn't say, and then we regret it later on when they call and complain. Okay, not going over scenarios of survival. Not thinking about these things, not building. So what do I mean by that? Where you park, thinking about, what if someone was to come outside of the store, my local store that I go up to on a regular basis in my beat, and with a gun, where should I park? What should I do? If I'm answering this alarm call, how should I go to this alarm call? If I'm going to this particular house over and over again, where are areas of cover or concealment that I can use? So you should be always thinking about those things in your mind. You should be paying attention to these other officers that have been involved in these use of force incidents or these shootings where that information is valuable to you to build a blueprint to success as an officer. So be aware of those circumstances, be aware of your environment, and think about how, if I was involved in a situation now, how would I respond? And that's very important. Number 9, using the driver's side approach over the passenger side approach. Guys, I've done other videos on this, and I'm telling you, the passenger side approach is better. It is safer. Again, watch the other videos. If you're going up on the driver's side, that's where they expect you to be. We're not going to go into it too much, but that's where they expect you to be. If you go up on that passenger side approach, that headrest can get in the way if they're trying to shoot you. If they have a passenger, generally they won't try to shoot over the top of their passenger. So, being aware of that, not using that driver's side approach, I don't see the advantage there. And I don't know why, as a law enforcement officers, we really got into doing that. Mainly probably because of seeing maybe the VIN number or seeing the stickers on the car. But I guarantee you, your safety is more important than that. And your second approach could be on the driver's side, because generally, if they're going to shoot at you, they're going to shoot at you on that first approach, not the second approach. Okay. And number 10, this is a big one, guys. Failing to use force when necessary to do so. And I get it. There's a lot of hesitation by law enforcement because of departments failing to train their personnel. Law enforcement officers are worried about their administration, some of them about being fired or terminated because they use force. Guys, it can cost. You're also protecting that suspect when you use force immediately to stop it when it's necessary at the time to respond and use force. As they're resisting, it's time to put them down. It's time to put them down on the ground so that you can hopefully get them under control and use force immediately, or separate and use something on your belt. Guys, don't hesitate to use force and then regret it. We see that on the record. That is one of the biggest things that we see in law enforcement, is officers not using force, even though some of the public thinks it's using excessive force. It's really not. It's failing to use force when it's necessary and immediately necessary to do so. And hesitation can cause you to get hurt or even get killed. Guys, I hope some of these things, like I said, comment down below with other things that you can think of. We can only cover so much in a short video. So if you ever have any questions or anything we can help you with, please log on to BlueShieldTactical.com. You'll see our upcoming courses, guys. Even if you never attend our course, if you ever have anything that we can help you with, we'll do it for free. I mean, we don't mind helping. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do, is support each other as law enforcement officers. And, we're here to help in any way we can. So, guys, watch your six. Be safe out there. Thanks.